As Mr. Abhishek Upadhyay just read out as to what the proceedings of Connected would entail as we go forward, I was actually asking myself as to what is it that we are trying to connect here. I have a prepared speech which of course I'll read out, but I think the crux of this conclave, the third edition of this conclave and its previous two iterations and the underlying foundation of that is essentially connecting two most important things which are definitely present in any society, especially in a young society like of India, like of Nepal. And those two foundational drivers of what drives the youth, what drives the society, what drives the country are essentially two things. One, aspiration. Two, achievement. Aspiration for achievement. Aspiration leading to achievement. Aspiration because of achievement. I think the connect at a very fundamental level gives you that medium, gives you that platform, as Abhishek mentioned earlier on, to connect these two principal drivers, which is the aspiration and achievement. Drivers, you can also call them objectives, you can also call them end goals, but this is the, if there was a cell for the inner self of the entrepreneurship, it is the aspiration and the achievement which drive the entrepreneurship. And I think the connecting gives you that medium to take this abundant and positive aspirational energy which is embedded, inherent in a youthful society, and translate it into something concrete, which in the end not just leads to your own personal empowerment, your own personal riches, but also contributes to the growth and welfare of the society. If you grow for yourself, fine, excellent, you would have made tremendous achievement. But if you grow for your society and your nation, then the level of satisfaction that you draw from your aspiration and achievements and the level of satisfaction that your society and country draws from your aspiration and achievement is most remarkable, most contributory, and probably most satisfactory at a fundamental level. So I think Connect India at some level gives you that opportunity, I would say, a medium, a positive construct, so to speak, in which you can combine these two fundamental motivations of your entrepreneurship, aspiration, achievement, in a manner that contributes to your own growth, but in a manner also that contributes to the success of your society, the success of your surroundings in which you work, and naturally the growth and success of the country as a whole. As Abhishek mentioned, and as you all know, that over the last couple of years, the entire world, including our two societies and the South Asia as a whole, has seen massive disruption in our lives, in our economies, in our societies because of the COVID pandemic. Post-pandemic recovery, in my view, would therefore require a very special focus on developing what we call resilient supply chains, greater infusion of technology into economic activity flows, and unlocking the creative spirit and entrepreneurial energy of your youth. What it essentially also tells us is that the kind of challenges that the COVID presented to our society, the technology platforms for which Connect India is one of the mediums, gives you a new way to look at how do you respond to the challenges where the disruption is so massive, so global, so deep, so long-term that you definitely need to find very resilient solutions to them, so that next time if the humanity as a whole faces such a challenge, we are quite up to it, ready to respond to it in a manner which causes least disruption to the economies, which saves maximum number of lives, and which of course doesn't impede our growth going forward. And I think in that regard also today's event is highly significant, because the scope of this event extends much beyond the parameters of the program. It is essentially looking at a manner in which we can connect with ourselves, connect with not just entrepreneurs within our society, but also connect with externalities of entrepreneurship. So there is entrepreneurship ecosystem within Nepal, there is entrepreneurship ecosystem in India, there is also entrepreneurship ecosystem globally. This platform gives you that opportunity to tap, harvest the externalities of the entrepreneur system, especially the startup ecosystem, and increase, empower your own capacities in a manner that is forward-leaning and growth-oriented. In this regard, what I would like to flag is that India is currently going through what is called a decade of India. I mean, it's a highly technology-centric, mass-based growth golden age of startups that we are experiencing in India. While speaking about our government policy on startups earlier this year, the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, have listed 3 important measures which are being taken in India to strengthen the 1, innovation, 2, entrepreneurship of the entire startup ecosystem. First was to liberate entrepreneurship and innovation from the web of government processes and bureaucratic silos. This is not to say that the government and bureaucracy doesn't have an enabling role to play in it, but this is more to say that the creative energy of the startup ecosystem and the entrepreneurial youth should be able to grow unbridled from the limitations that sometimes the government processes tend to present. Second, to create an institutional mechanism to promote innovation, because you do need, at a certain point in your innovation growth story, in your entrepreneurial progress, you do need to converge it in a manner so that there is a synthesis and a catalyst role that the ecosystem begins to play, for which I think an institutional system is of tremendous value. And third is to handhold the young innovators and youth enterprises. And in this regard, the programs like Startup India, Stand Up India are important endeavors of Government of India which have helped this. Essentially, through these efforts, we are trying to institutionalize innovation in the country by creating, I would say, an atmosphere through these energies, wherein right from the childhood, you look at the world from the prism of innovation. You look at the problems around you from an innovative solution perspective. You tend to address your needs in a manner that is different from standard manners in which you would respond to it. That is the whole intent, how to look at things in an innovative, aspirational and new manner. In this regard, the initiatives like Startup India, Stand Up India, Atal Innovation Mission, Atal Tinkering Labs, Startup Seed Fund Scheme, India Stack, etc. Abhishek mentioned about Shark Tank, it's a more commercial version of it. They're all providing enabling platforms for youth to work on their innovative ideas and elevate them essentially from drawing board to actual businesses. So essentially what you try to do is you limit the time it takes from an innovative idea to convert itself from idea into a specific product, service or solution that is very quickly available to the market, because one of the problems in innovative ecosystem system is obviously the funding, and I think the speed of translation from an idea into a concrete product, service, solution it matters quite significantly for the people who are working in the startup domain. In India, what we've experienced is that it is because of these initiatives that we have taken that our ranking of India in the Global Innovation Index has improved considerably. In 2015, India was confined roughly around 80, 81 in this ranking. Today, we are roughly 46 in this innovation index that we have. Startups, as I mentioned earlier on, they represent the cutting edge of the entrepreneurial spirit, cutting edge of our own potential, both as an individual, but also society as a collective, and of course, the richness and diversity of our opinion. They are also instrumental in resolving many of our developmental challenges through technology and innovation. And I think this point, I would like to connect to the point which I made earlier, that ultimately the innovation that you do has to be relevant to the society and to the country. And I think this point is significant because there are many developmental challenges of our societies where the conventional mechanisms to address those challenges are one, either very limiting, two, capital intensive, three, depend a lot on others. But I think the innovation platform allows you to take technology to leap over those restrictions, limitations of capital, of other kinds, so that you can bridge that gap through technology and find a solution to your own developmental needs in a manner that society and country as a whole benefits from it. We have also found that whether it's information technology, fintech, these are all complex vocabulary to define essentially in the end what you would do as an activity, life sciences, financial services, e-commerce, manufacturing, automation, defense, space, aviation, food processing, even agriculture. Startups, you will find, are very deeply penetrated into each part of our economy in a manner that they look at challenges, try to find a solution. Once they find a solution, try to market the solution and commercialize it very quickly in terms of business opportunity, and then take it forward. We have in India roughly in 2021 alone, last year, 42 unicorns which emerged, and this year we are moving hopefully to score a century in terms of unicorns. To acknowledge the speed and scale at which India and youth are creating startups in this era of global pandemic, what we have in India at least done is designated 16 January as the startup day within the country. But as I mentioned to you, when you take your aspirations and you connect it to your achievements and that of your society and the nation, I think it is also very important to understand how can you link up with other such opportunities, not just in Nepal, but in societies outside Nepal, which basically comes to the question, now what does this mean for our region as a whole? Because innovation by its very nature is never siloed. It instinctively connects to its surroundings, whether they are local surroundings, whether they are national surroundings, their regional surroundings, or their global surroundings. In a country like Nepal, with a population of 30 million, with a median age being 25 years, I believe that Nepal has the phenomenal, remarkable ability, dream of course, to transform itself economically, and that transformation is easily anchored and is most definitely anchored in the youth and the entrepreneurship of this country. Every day we experience all around us in our daily lives here the dynamism and innovative spirit of Nepal and the youth, which is expressed through thousands of budding startups and the small and medium enterprises. The interconnected nature of our subcontinent is such, whether it's in economic, physical or cultural terms, this is something which is really an asset for us. It is an asset in which we need to continue to invest, but it's also an asset which we can harvest for our own growth. And I think innovation ecosystems, youth and entrepreneurship, is something which can contribute to the growth of this asset, but also harness its energy to grow itself going forward. And I think the startups and the innovation and the mediums like Connecting provide you as one of the drivers for such transformation. This is the reason why at the Prarambh Startup Summit organized by India in 2021 last year, the scope was not just limited to India. We wanted our capacities in the startup system to link up for the benefit of the societies neighboring India also. So it included the larger BIMSTEC region, of which Nepal is a part, within its ambit, and saw extremely enthusiastic and encouraging and heartwarming participation from Nepal also. And this is also the reason why youth, startups and innovation will always constitute a key aspect of India's engagement with Nepal. I'm very confident that in months and years ahead, this is one element of our partnership, one element of our relationship, which will not only continue to grow, but will renew the very foundations of our very strong people-to-people relationship between our two countries. I invite all of you, investors, business leaders, entrepreneurs, techies, to contribute to this objective so that we can make the youth of our region, youth of Nepal, youth of India, to be the key stakeholder for a development which touches us all, and touches us all in very real sense. What we do in today's world, the very nature of innovation industry or history, if you see, of last 60, 70 years, innovation done in one part of the world touches all of us. You can Google yourself and find out who designed and developed the computer graphic interface. Today it's part of our daily lives, we take it for granted, but it's an innovation which happened somewhere with which we as individuals, are not only able to make our own system growth work efficient, but we also benefit from it enormously. I would, in this context, as you grow forward in terms of pursuing your own ambitions, aspirations and achievements, I would like to assure in this context full and absolute support from the Embassy of India in building these linkages between the youth and entrepreneurs of Nepal and the startup ecosystems in India, so that we can not just learn from each other's experiences, but we can also benefit from each other's growth experiences in this coming century. I hope that you would participate in today's event with great enthusiasm and energy. I would also take this opportunity to invite you to participate in, I'm told there's an Ideathon, which is on the 20th of April. Yeah, on the 20th of April, where we would look forward to your innovative solutions in 4 domains that are very central to the economic relationship between our 2 countries. I will wish every participant to this conclave all and full success, and I would like to thank everybody who has been very closely and diligently involved in the organization of this edition of Connect10, and I'm extremely confident that it would be a tremendous success given your enthusiasm and energy which will get imbued into it. Many, many thanks, and have a very nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those encouraging words. Indeed, our aspirations and our dreams, in our aspirations and dreams, we find our opportunities. Thank you for that, Your Excellency. We are here at the 3rd International Entrepreneurship Conclave. The first Connect In was held in 2018 and the second one in 2019.